Meet Dave of Delusions of Grandeur, actor, producer, and director of films like Tales of the Forgotten. He has come to assemble a team of freaks, geeks, and even worse, film nerds, to discuss films ranging from mainstream to downright crazy. There is Tammy car enthusiast and Dave's fiance, Dustin reptile expert and overall horror collector, Jake environmentalist and fine art film critic, and finally Brandon, a therapist with a love of film that can only be seen as insanity. Together under Dave's leadership, they are inside movies galore. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
To heal.
Alrighty. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting film journey here on Delusions of Grandeur. I am one of your hosts, but today we are going on about a film that I decided to put forward, which was filmed in 1990. It was directed by Paul Verhoeven. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sharon Stone and quite a few others here. Let me go back to see. Okay, so we've got Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
Michael Ironside and Rachel Ticotin, Ronnie Cox, Marshall Bell, Mel Johnson Jr., Michael Champion, Roy Brock Smith, Ray Baker, Rosemary Dunsmore, David Nell, Alexia Robinson, among many others. So, I do want to say that David Bannon was actually one of the writers here. Ronald Susek, he was another writer, but Philip K. Dick wrote the original story. Philip K. Dick wrote the story in 1966 and 74. That Russet writer actually bought the rights to Philip K. Dick's story, which was originally called We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. And the story was originally published, like I said, in 1966, which eventually became the title Total Recall. But here we have it in this 1990 movie. It was slated to become the best blockbuster ever. And it, from what I understand, it actually made quite a bit. It grossed like more than any other movie that year. So, but it's always been kind of like mixed reviews on whether people liked it or didn't or whatnot. But I like it. It's what you would call a cyberpunk sci-fi feature. So, there was an era of science fiction during the 90s that they specifically labeled cyberpunk, and this was one of them. So, that being said, I'm going to see what IMDb says about the film, and then we'll get into first impressions here. Let's see. Go backwards. Okay. Let's go down to the summary. Here we go. All right. Douglas Quaid is haunted by a recurring dream about a journey to Mars. He hopes to find out more about this dream and buys a holiday at Recall with a K Inc., where they sell implanted memories. But something goes wrong with the memory implantation, and he remembers being a secret agent fighting against the evil Mars administrator Cohagen. Now the story really begins, and it's a roller coaster ride until the massive end of the movie. So, uh, first impressions. Heading over to you, Boris. Was this a first time watch?
Much to my shame, yes, it was the first time, but I must say I really enjoyed this movie. Actually, even more than I thought. I mean, it's not like I had specifically bad expectations, but it's just not the genre I usually go for. But like I said, I found it a lot more to my tastes than I expected. There was a good combination of spoodaus, decent dose of humor, and a decent dose of action too. And it was a really good mixture altogether. And yeah, I liked it quite a bit.
Okay. Is that pretty much it for your first impressions then?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Heading over to you, Tammy. Was this a first time watch for you?
No, I actually saw it in the theater when it came out.
Oh, really? Which
It
theater?
was it's not there anymore. It was called the Skyway, and right by on the same lot there was a place called Aladdin's Castle with all kinds of video games. So
Okay.
it was a day out with friends. We went and played the video games while we were waiting for the movie. You know,
Yeah. Think about that. Cyberpunk and arcade games. That was the day.
yeah, it was a really nice, and it was a really nice day. If I remember right, that day too. It was like, and my friends wanted to go sit in front, so like that opening thing with all that red, and everything it was just like whoa. It was, you were right there, because they wanted to sit close. I was just like, okay, this is trippy.
So it must have been
Fair.
been an experience enough to remember for specifically this film.
Oh yeah, and I had a great time with my friends, and I did enjoy the movie too. I mean, um, once I got used to being that close to it, but um, yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought storyline effects and all that stuff. I thought it was pretty decent. So
Okay. And I'm not sure when I first saw this. I was 6 years old when this movie came out. So I think I first saw this on TNT when it was starting to be played on television, and it's one that comes on the television pretty frequently here in the States. So, um,
yeah, I've seen it many a times over the years on television.
at least this particular one. I mean, you cannot mistake Michael Ironsides for anybody else in here. Um, you really get to know Arnie in this one too. I think he's not just the stoic. You are to be terminated. You know.
No, he looks like almost like a regular guy in this one. He's younger. And I don't think he's as beefed up in this one, as we've
Yeah.
seen him in other things. So
And you can't knock some of the special effects here. I do think that this is early CGI, and whatnot. Another one around the same time period was one he did based on Stephen King's short story for Richard Bachman, was The Running Man, which is also getting a remake coming up here. But I enjoy this for what it is. It's kind of a little bit of everything, you know. I mean, it's got sci-fi, adventure, intrigue. Um, I mean, this movie kind of makes you want to be a secret agent, you know.
Kinda, yeah.
Going to Mars, you know. I mean, this is set in 2084, you know, which is not that far off, you know.
Yeah, when you think about that,
It's only
space on.
it's only 60 years away, ish.
Yeah, well, we won't
Yeah.
see that.
Oh, we won't see it,
I
but
Yeah, like Space Odyssey was set in 2001, and what happens in that movie we don't have even nowadays, let alone in 2001.
all I remember from that movie was the beginning music, dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And then the apes pounding at the very end, and then good morning, Dave.
Dave, of course you remember Dave.
What? Well, my name is popular in movies, don't you know? But
Well, actually, yeah.
alrighty. So, uh, the film begins with just your regular average construction worker. Actually, I believe he is a construction worker of some kind down on Earth, and we see that he has a lovely blonde wife.
Oh
And
yeah, very
their
lovely.
relationship seems sexy at first, and all that jazz. They seem loving, and
At
he
first.
he he really wants to. He really wants to take a trip with. Actually, he really wants to move to Mars. And he suggests that, and she's like, "But we talked about this. There's all these rebels and whatnot. Don't you know?" And then he suggests maybe he starts to see commercials on uh, this Total Recall program, um, which he gets really interested in having a trip, which evidently, instead of actually going on vacation, taking your two Chevrolets and going to some other place, evidently they have these places where they implant memories that you that last quite a while in your mind, and apparently they're supposedly safe, and he gets interested in this, and he chooses to go and get a memory implanted. And the thing is, he's actually been dreaming about a black haired a woman, the woman of his dreams. And I'm not sure if he's told his wife. I think he has.
Yes, and she threw a jealous scene about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
told her.
Yes, once he told her, and I think he tells a coworker at work about this, that he wants to go and try this, and the coworker of his tells him don't do it because he heard someone else actually went psycho or nuts and was never the same or something like that.
He got lobotomized.
Yes, and that's something that he didn't want to happen, and apparently, okay, once they And you can actually see exactly what they're setting up. They're actually trying to sell him something different, but he wants the brunette. He wants to be a secret agent, and he wants to go to Mars. And they so he convinces them to put him under for this so-called vacation with their Total Recall program. The thing is, as soon as they haven't even put him under, and suddenly he goes like bonkers. At least that's what we assume. Okay, because apparently they go to the guy who initially was putting him in, under, and they're like, "We're having another paranoid schizophrenia moment." And he's
uh,
like,
I
"Did
I
you even
think
put him
he's
under?" And they said, "No,
uh,
we haven't even stuck the needle in him or anything." He just started having this outburst, for no apparent reason. So, what do you think about all this?
Well, they put him under somewhat, but they had not put the secret agent thing into him. And the guy said something about it, and she's like, "Well, it's kind of impossible that he thinks he's a secret agent since we did not implant that yet."
yeah, that was when they started to look fishy.
But yeah, it's obviously what they did do was triggering things in his brain because you know um, something has happened to him, and no, he's not aware of it. They're not aware of it. But this is triggering something.
Yep. So it's like, and that's when he like basically escapes from the Total Recall place, and I think what he does is he ends up returning to supposedly his home where his wife is, and um uh, he doesn't realize it, but people have been sent after him to at least take him and put him in a line, and his wife is in on it.
Right. He's trying to tell her that people are chasing him and trying to kill him, and she's like, "Oh no, you know, since you went to that place, the place messed up your brain, and this you're just being paranoid and da 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 da." And
And I think
so,
she's got him calm enough.
she goes to show her his hands that are all bloody. It says like, "Do you think does this look like I'm imagining it?" So
Yeah.
when he goes to clean up, she goes and calls somebody, and when he comes back out, um, she tries to kill him.
Yep. If she had
Oh,
just
who
been,
could have seen that coming?
if she had just been calm, she might have actually been able to actually keep him there. But she went ballistic on it on him and tried to kill him. So he ended up running from them. And before that even happens, okay, before, okay, actually not before. He actually ran, checked himself into a hotel, and then apparently someone called him there. So someone apparently that said that they were from the moon or from Mars.
Worse.
Oh, and whatever he was part of on Mars, and they told him, "Hey, you're not who you think you are, and we're going to leave a suitcase with you. Go grab it." Basically, um, and he's also told that he's got a tracker inside his brain, so um, he's got to get it out of there and pronto and run. basically. So he
Well,
goes.
he has him wrap his head in a wet towel temporarily until he can go get the suitcase and open it, you know,
Correct. And when he
and
goes
that
and
will.
tries to grab the suitcase, someone else is trying to grab it, an old lady, and he's like, "It's mine." And she tries to, you know, get his ass in trouble, but he takes it from her, and then I think he gets in a taxi, which the taxi is kind of annoying.
So he
Uh,
dismantles it.
Yep, he dismantles it, and then once he gets now all the while, um, the dudes who have who have been sent after him by um, this political guy name of Hagen or Copenhagen.
uh, co- co- wait, damn, I forgot what his name was. Let's see. Co something, god damn it.
Let me see.
Uh,
Let me see.
uh, Total Recall. Uh, Co Co Cohagen or Co.
Yeah,
If
Cohagen.
that's how.
Cohagen, played by Rennie Cox. Now, Rennie Cox's character, Cohagen, he apparently runs the mine and controls the air that is on Mars, and uh, the way we learn about it is that apparently he Douglas Quaid had actually been another agent for Cohagen,
His name was
Yes.
Hauser.
and his name was Hauser. And Hauser actually leaves him a video about how to get the darn thing out of his brain and get him to Mars. And at first, we think that Hauser is on his side, you know, and part of this resistance, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Apparently so.
and when he gets to Mars, well, actually, he does. Before he gets to Mars, he has to take the darn thing out of his head, and that part is kind of nasty and cool all at the same
Oh
time.
yeah, he's pulling
It,
that thing out. He's like,
it, it,
ah!
it's almost like the Egyptians taking their instrument and pulling the brain out, you know.
I
But
know. He's like, stick this thing in your nose. He goes, you'll know when you get there as you hear the crack. And it's like, ah.
remember, be careful with that body because you're me. So
Well, I get a kick out of the next part when he's trying to get to Mars and his whole getup.
yeah, oh, that's right. He does get to Mars with the fat lady.
Well, he
He
did. Well, the contraption that he is wearing of that lady, it goes wrong,
correct. It
and
goes ro-
that scene is just. I think that scene is just like totally cool. That he's like 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and also this thing is going bonkers.
and then he throws the head to the guys and be like, "Don't lose your heads." So there is some comedy in here too, you know, and ultimately, you know, he's chased, you know, to this train that takes him there to be fair, and I like the moment where they get to where he was, and the darn thing is going all over the place because the tracker is being eaten by the rats.
Yeah, the rat is carrying it. It's a piece of chocolate.
And
The
the
rat's
dude's so
running around with it.
stupid. He's like, "There, shoot! There, shoot! There!" And then Ironside's character is like, you moron.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of semi humor there that's going on that I think is fucking great. But
uh, Actually, yeah, while I was watching the movie, at one point my mother came into the room and said, "It sounds like you're watching a comedy and not some serious movie."
which apparently means that you were enjoying it.
Yes,
So
definitely.
but in any case, he does get to Mars. They do surround him at that moment because when that lady meat suit gets and blows up and whatnot, he ends up running. And then there's this moment where he runs into this metal detector where you can see his skeleton and all that jazz, and soldiers like line up on either side, and they're trying to tell him to stop, and they realize something's going on, so they try to stop him, and he just jumps through and breaks that a whole machine. And then I do believe that he does get away. Um, I do believe that he does take and get to what is it? Does he get to Venusian?
We, I think that they called it Venusville, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Venusville, and he ends up. Um, that's right. He ends up going to this hotel first. And apparently there's something in a safety box that tells him on a flyer for a strip joint for a good time. Call upon Melina.
Oh yeah.
So he takes the flyer, writes in his own handwriting to see if he's the one who wrote the note to begin with, and takes a taxi, which is where Benny comes into the picture. Benny
Uh,
is this mutant that apparently he keeps claiming that he's got like 5 kids to feed, and he takes him to this strip joint. I forget the name of the strip joint, but
I think
I
it's
mean,
Last Resort.
the last resort. Yes, the last resort, which is in another part of Mars. Uh, Now, as he goes through this like city or whatnot, I mean, he realizes that the whole place is run by this big air fan. You know, um, wherever they are, it's controlled. The airflow is controlled uh, by this big gigantic fan. So, and as he progresses through the city, through the several cities, he comes upon people who want to tell him his future. And apparently, these mutants aren't just mutants. Apparently, when they were mutated by the outside air of Mars before this air was part of their population, they became psychic and could tell, you know, different things while being mutated. You know. So I thought that was a little cool that everybody could be your fortune teller. You know.
Okay. So
So
yeah.
what did you think about that part, Tammy? Did you realize that every single person that he came across wanted to ask him about it or tell him his future?
Well, they all had
Uh,
Ben. What was this Benny? The
Benny, yeah,
the cabby guy.
the
Yeah,
traitor.
he said that they all when they got mutated, they all ended up with like a special thing. So not all of them could tell the future, but they all had like some special thing.
and
So
you know something that I think was cut on the streaming one that we saw. I feel like the part where Benny actually showed him his mutation
no, I saw
was
it on
cut.
mine.
Okay, well I didn't for some reason. I know it was his hand or arm that was a
Which
little
one did you
mutated.
watch it on?
I watched it on the same one you did.
Well, yeah, they showed it because he showed it um, later on when they all get caught. He goes,
Okay,
or he takes the glove off and said, "Hey, I'm with you," and he showed it.
and that was before he betrayed them.
Yeah, but anyways, yes, um, the mutants all have something special. You know, I I I thought that was really neat when he gave the little girl a token of some sort. You know.
Well, yeah, because she was like, "Aren't you this?" And he's like, "How did you know?" So, um, yeah, and once he gets to the last resort, I think not just the patrons, but the ladies who kind of like are the ladies of the night inside the place are unique and interesting.
Yeah, you
I
just
mean,
like the one that's got three titties. That's all.
hey, when I was a kid, that was my first porno. Anyways, I'm kidding, but
too, too bad she got killed.
yeah, that kind of blowed. I mean, there was no reason for him to do that. But
I like the little midget girl. She was
oh,
pretty.
she's
Oh
pretty cute.
yes,
She's pretty cute,
and,
and I think she had spunk. You know,
and
Yes.
badass.
I mean, she could definitely hold her own in the whole place. But apparently, he finds out that he himself, Quaid, has had history with some of these resistance fighters, and some of them don't entirely trust him, and apparently Melina knows him a little bit more, and Melina is a black-haired brunette who's quite pretty. Um, and she takes him upstairs, and apparently she's like, "What happened to you? Well, we thought you were dead," and all that
Uh,
jazz. And
truth be told, uh, okay, to each their own, of course, but to me personally, I was a little disappointed about Melina's looks. She should have been hotter than Lori, but she kind of wasn't, to me at least.
well, she was rough around the edges, but she was still cute in her own way.
She
All
to me she's cute and prettier because the other one just reminds me of a, a typical blonde.
Well, funnily enough, the other one, Laurie, the Sharon Stone's character, reminds me very much of a certain person I dealt with in real life. And that's kind of morbidly hilarious.
And this was around when Sharon Stone was still starting to get a name for herself too. So
Oh,
Sharon Stone became quite a femme fatale, after this. And I know she was um, definitely in some bigger and larger films than this. Although this movie has become one of the best sci-fi features ever. So, um,
Well, don't get me wrong. I think she's pretty, but we realize later on that she's not just your typical blonde because
yeah, she's a little bit psychotic.
But
A
I
little
guess
bit.
I guess I
A
like
little bit.
I guess I like Melina better because to me Melina is pretty in her own way without having to have makeup on or this or that or put on a
Well,
put on a facade.
character-wise, Melina is better, of course, but physically, I personally found Lori better looking, which didn't work so well for the story.
Oh, it worked for me. I like Melina. I think that she is much more Quaid's opposite equal, and to me, I think she worked very well for the story.
Yeah.
Whether or not I was into her, like myself now then, I didn't really need to. We had the good looking Sharon Stone for that, but um, I like Melina as a character because she is rough and around the edges, and she does show that she does care about our main character here, and they make good teamwork towards the end. So to me, I feel like her character worked for what it needed to. Um, but that being as said, um, eventually, wifey poo ends up.
Wifey poo.
Yeah, wifey poo ends up somewhat with another character that claims that he claims that Quaid is actually still under the total recall thing, and that he doesn't want to kill him at all, and yet he puts a bullet to him anyways. Um, he claims that if he kills him, then he's on his own, and he has no one to help him through his vacation or whatever he's on. He's trying to tell him that he's still under. Um,
And he becomes wise to it because he sees him sweat.
correct. So he shoots him, and then wifey poo comes in a little bit before that, and she gets in a fight with him. And while that's all going on,
Then Melina comes, and for the two, this
she
is
kicks
not
ass.
this is not a normal cat fight, man. This is a
No,
down
it's
and out
not.
fight.
and when Quaid is knocked out and whatnot during this fight, he sees this fight between the two chicks, and sees that she's pretty much got the drop on Melina. So he ends up putting his gun in her face, and she's like, "You don't want to kill your wife."
Uh,
And
Consider this a divorce. Boom.
yeah, consider
right?
this a divorce. that, that was
That was your
brilliant, although
wife? She was a bitch.
that bitch from hell. Although, truth be told, I think that moment happened a little too early into the movie. I mean, the wife had the potential to be a more serious villain. She could have stuck around longer.
I think she needed to die. Um,
Well, yes, but maybe not so soon.
eh, I'm fine with when she died. I didn't need more psycho chick. even even though she was a very hot psycho chick.
Right.
I still didn't need to see her dumb blonde face anymore.
Bitch from hell.
Uh, yeah, imagine her after your butt.
Oh, I can't imagine it. Like I said, I have recently been dealing with a person in real life who this character heavily reminds me of.
Uh, but in any case, they end up having to run. Um, and you can't help but mention Michael Ironside's character though. He shows very much, and his name is Richter. He shows very much that he actually has a relationship with Lori, and
We
when
do
Lori
get
is
some.
killed off, that puts him more intensely after going after Quaid, and so they end up running running and getting back into Benny's cab again, which he takes them back to the last resort. Which all the while they are they are being chased by the goons, including Richter, and apparently they go into the last resort. There's a mutant inside another man who apparently is the leader of the resistance, and I'm trying to remember his name.
Quato.
Quato. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was weird as
Been talked
hell.
about. Quato's been talked about since the beginning of the movie.
And
Yeah, didn't
supposedly he's
imagine.
gonna be able to unlock Quaid's brain.
Correct. So basically, the resistance hides them by opening up a door inside the last resort, which goes down into the mines, into a specific area that apparently the Mars Authority has not been able to figure out this secret headquarters is where they go, and so Quaid meets Quattro, and Quattro is this like almost you can imagine a cigar in this uh, mutant's hands because this is like a baby inside of a man's stomach.
Literally.
Except he's more or less like looking like a shit demon. But anyways, um,
Pretty much.
because he's brown and gooey and he just looks weird. But he speaks
Very
kind of
weird.
slow, and you can tell his a voice is dubbed. But he basically tells him to take his hands, and he's like, "Open your mind, open your mind, open your mind." And basically, um, he takes him. He takes him into his mind, and you see what looks like the inside of the deep inside the mind, and there's this thing that looks like a hand that apparently is this thing that if you stick your hand in it, it basically starts this alien machine that melts the ice and creates
Air.
oxygen and air that could probably help the planet for
And that's what
years.
um Cope what's his name again? Cope
Cohagen.
Cocaine.
Cohagen. doesn't work.
Cohagen fully, and I actually think that Cohagen really fully believes that if someone starts, puts their hand in there, it will destroy them. He really fucking believes that. So that's why he's against anyone doing that.
That's part of it, but he also, the other part of him is afraid that it'll actually work and he won't be in control anymore.
Correct. But he really does believe that everyone will die. He really does, because when the when the dam outside starts to suck them outside, he's like, don't do it, we'll all die." You know, so he really believes that if he does it, everyone will die. Uh,
Yeah.
even though he is kind of a con man himself and wants to control everything. He's kind of like that evil dude that I will conquer the world, kind of thing. You know,
Yes.
um, political
Very much.
figure that isn't exactly good for the economy, and yet y'all have no way to get rid of him because
Uh,
he's got all kinds of dudes protecting him, his ass.
are you making a subtle reference to Donald Trump?
No,
No.
I am not making any political references to him whatsoever.
Okay, we'll take your word for that.
But in any case, um, so ultimately, Arnold, or his character Quaid, ends up sticking his hand inside the thing, and they both him and Melina. Oh, and I did like how Richter died. um, Richter and him were fighting
Yes.
on the elevator going up to the darn thing, and he was so certain that he was going to win that fight. He did not realize once he'd actually gone off and over the side that uh, what goes up must come down. Um,
Well,
Literally.
before that, I like how Arnold got out of that machine, got him and Melina out of that machine, and
Oh
just went
yeah, the
nutso.
part when they tricked the bad guys with the holograms, that was also amazing.
well, yeah, they eventually were they were all betrayed basically. Him and Quattro and because mid while he was trying to open his mind, the resistance came through, and that's what that's about when they found out that Benny wasn't on their side.
Right, but then
I
they strapped him and Melina in those machines.
Correct, and they were
It,
gonna erase their brains and give them new memories.
and I like how he got
and,
out of that and just went berserk with everything.
Well, yeah,
that was when we also found out that the original Hauser wasn't a good guy either.
yep, because they pretty much were shown a video of him standing right next to Cohagen, and him being like, if you're seeing this video, then Quattro is dead, and you did a good job."
Uh, Although one thing that part left me wondering was Melina initially knew him as Hauser, not as Quaid. So how come she didn't know he was a bad guy?
She didn't know him as Hauser at all. Melinda did not know him as Hauser. She knew him as Quaid.
Really?
Yep.
No, she knew him. She knew him as Hauser, but he was playing both sides, trying to get.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay,
was
so she
trying to
did
get.
know him as Hauser. When he was explaining everything to her, he basically said, "I don't know who this Hauser was, but I know that I am Quaid now." Okay, yeah. she did know that his name was Hauser, but he when he initially told her everything and about his wife, and she told him, "I don't believe you," and all that jazz at first.
Yes.
Um, she
But she
she now
didn't.
knows that his name is Quaid.
Right, but she didn't know that Hauser was basically playing both sides, trying to get. He was trying to infiltrate the resistance,
Yes.
But anyways, yes. So he's about ready to start the machine, or well, they had their big fight, and um, you see this, before the big fight, you see this big machine, and this thing looks awesome. I mean, it looks like it goes on forever and ever and ever. You know,
Well, yes.
I mean, if you want to imagine that somebody did build this, aliens at one time built this, it's like this thing looks like it was, you know, it like it's never ending, and what it supposedly does, because we don't know for sure until they start it, but what it supposedly does is it's great imagination, and ingenuity,
Oh,
so
definitely.
but yeah, so yeah, they have the fight. Dude gets his arms ripped off. And he finally gets up there um to start the machine, and then he has um the fight with that other guy, right?
Oh,
That's trying to tell him not to start it, Kohei.
oh, him. Yeah.
So
Whew. Oh, where did they go?
Alrighty. So they have the fight with Cohagen, and Melina comes up just in time to shoot Cohagen. And uh, once they once they overcome Cohagen, that's when something happens with the air outside, which
well, the firefight actually was kind of cool because he used that little thing so that like he could make the hologram. And then
yeah.
they go and shoot him, and he sits there and he starts laughing. And then he just like,
Yes.
and then he comes around the corner, and it's really him, and he takes care of him, and then he does it again, and they're like, so yeah, I think what he said. I bet you think this is the hologram. Wrong.
So there's definitely some deadpan humor in here.
Deadpan. Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
and Melina uses it too for herself, which is also kind of cool.
Yeah, they were having fun with that thing, taking care of everybody.
Yep. So that whole like end scene with them is cool. So and then once they he actually sticks his hand in the thing. I think the effects on when they actually shoot out like that garbage chute or whatever that thing is, and go outside in the Martian air, and suddenly it looks like they're going to explode. But then you see the
Like,
machine start to do its work.
like they're gonna spoon out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spoot out. But
Sorry, couldn't read
as
it.
soon as the air gets moving and shoots out that volcano, man, because I feel like that's like a volcano and not a mountain, because it's the oxygen that's shooting out the mountain.
Right. But yeah,
Um,
the effect of them not having air and the effects that they do with their eyes bulging and them, you know, and all that. I mean, that's quite an effect.
well,
Oh,
yeah,
actually,
especially
yeah.
since you would think with the science of it all that they would actually fucking explode, like even after the air came through, and suddenly their faces started sinking back into being human again. It's like, what the fuck? So just because they got air means that their face melting stops and they go back to being human again.
Well, I guess they
Oh,
weren't
yeah,
exposed long enough.
And yet it puts their skin right back to being regular human skin with no marks. You know, you would
actually, yeah, it reverses the damage that was already done.
yeah. So apparently the air has magical powers. So, but meanwhile, while that machine is beginning to getting to blow, uh, the windows on every single place on Mars are broken open on the regulars, people, and the mutoids. So
Oh, that was a major spoodow.
so they're amazed that they can breathe the air again, because it's like as soon as that mountain exploded the air, suddenly the people in Venusville and the people in uh, Marsville or whatever, they
Marsville.
well, I'm assuming that the other city was something different, but I don't remember. Um,
I don't remember either, I'm sorry.
but ultimately, uh, it's like they suddenly were awake, as if like you remember the story of Sleeping Beauty, where the people around the kingdom were asleep for like 100 years
Yes,
until the prince came and kissed the princess.
yes.
Well, it's like that instant awakeness. So, suddenly
The,
they sprung up into action. We're like, holy shit, we can breathe. And they got up on top of the buildings, and I know me, I would be feeling some uh, vertigo if I were standing out on the ledge like that. That ledge didn't look like safe at all. That they were climbing out from the window on.
Definitely.
But what are you scraping your grave?
Uh, I'm sorry, I'm chopping some figs. My mother and I are making fig jam, and she asked me to help. I'm sorry, I won't be making this noise for too long.
Well, we're almost done anyway.
Alrighty. Well, in any case, uh, so they pretty much, and this is what made this movie like one of the better science fiction movies, is this ending. Like she's telling him it almost feels like a dream, and he's like, well, if this is a dream, let's do whatever we can before we wake up, you know. So it it makes it seem like they don't know whether this is a reality or not. Like
Right. They
Huh.
make you
they make
wonder
you
at the
think,
very end.
yeah, they make you think that maybe he's still like under some total recall thing. Um, but they leave it for you to be like, huh? Well, maybe he is, and maybe he isn't. But at least he had a happy ending. You know,
Yep.
Yeah, but I somehow think it was real after all.
I like to think so, but ultimately in 1999 they supposedly were in making a TV series based on this, and then
Oh,
ultimately there was something called Total Recall 20 something, I think, that was made. I'm trying to see what it was called. Let's see. Total Recall 2070. There was something called that, and um, I know I didn't pick it up. It was a small TV series slash mini series, and I think all they did was, how many episodes did they do? Okay, they did 22 episodes on that. It was just one
cool.
season. One season, I believe. But you can actually get that one season on a DVD. I have never seen it, but supposedly that's like a sequel to this. But and then they remade it in this movie in 2012 with
Oh
Colin
yeah,
Farrell.
oh yeah, funny coincidence. I actually stumbled upon the remake on TV earlier today, and I was like, holy shit, I actually have the original of this for the movie discussion tonight.
Oh, so did you actually end up watching it earlier?
The remake, no, not yet.
Okay.
I
Well, I may actually do that one next time, but here we are at the end of this. Why don't we go into production and see what we think about the production overall? Tammy, I'll start with you since I started with Boris, uh, with first impressions.
I thought the
yeah,
the production was good, and I thought the effects were really good too. You know, especially like we were talking about at the end when they're laying there, yeah, they're grasping for air. There's no air, you know, and you see their faces change and their eyes bug out and everything.
oh
So
yes.
I thought that was good, and I thought the makeup that they used to make the mutants, you know, how they made all the characters that we saw. I thought that they did a really good job on that. Um, yeah, I think the production was good. You know, can't really say anything about like how people were supposed to dress for the time or this or that because this is all a totally different, you know, planet
Well,
and
yeah.
everything, and at different, totally different times. So, I mean, how you know the wardrobe and everything, I think was appropriate because you know of the time.
Yeah, it's a time that hasn't happened yet, so they can take some liberties with that.
Well, and I feel like this was a very progressive movie at the time, even though the original story was written in 1966.
Holy
I
hoot!
mean, back in the late 40s to early 50s, when we did films about of Martians, they were more or less about them invading Earth, whereas this one is very progressive. We're already, as a human species, living on Mars. You know,
Yeah,
it's just some of the humans that went to Mars were mutated because of the air. So that's part of the reason why there was an uprising. They were in a sense being segregated and being pushed down underneath a politician's thumb.
literally.
But what did you think about production overall, Boris?
I also thought it was pretty good. I was also going to mention the scene that Tammy mentioned, the part with their faces distorting at getting in touch with the Martian atmosphere and their eyes bulging out and all that.
I can
Those
imagine
effects
that
were
you're
really
gonna.
good.
I can imagine that you're gonna be dreaming about that triple-titted woman.
Why exactly do you think I would dream of that?
I don't know. I just thought that that would interest you.
But it was very well done, I must say. The eruption at the end was also very good, and also all the spudouts throughout the movie, all the explosions, the smashings and stuff.
The inside of that mine kind of reminded me of a moment in the movie The Forbidden Planet, where you
Huh.
saw the inside of where the monsters of the id came from, and the Professor Morpheus was taking them through the underground and showing them the machinery. It kind of reminded me of that.
Well, yes.
So to me, it's like almost we were seeing the monsters of the id and where they came from. Just a little bit. That's what that inside reminded me of. The inside of the creations of the original aliens that inhabited the planet Mars were fairly similar to, at least in my mind, the monsters from Altera 4.
Whew.
But in any case, I thought that the production overall was pretty cool. Um, the different areas that you saw the mutants at, and um, I thought Arnold coming out of a fat lady was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was also very good. How did I forget that? Kind of a cross-dressing moment, a sci-fi version of it.
2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And then he pushes on the thing in the air, and that thing comes out, and then it slides, and then you see. Uh, I would have to say they molded his head inside that thing, and then suddenly it was his real face.
Oh yeah, then that fake head went down.
But in any case, um, I just thought it was a really cool science fiction with alien mutations and whatnot. Because I feel like the Martians the the humans that had mutations happen to them because they worked in the mines and worked in the air and ended up being mutated. I thought that aspect of it was interesting. So I feel like production overall, um, wise was cool. It definitely made you believe that they were in different areas of Mars. And it's just amazing that they were actually able to put this together out of one little short story. You know.
Oh, yes. Wait, short story. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, it was originally a short story by Philip K. Dick. I said that in the very beginning.
Yes, I just forgot that it was supposedly short.
Yeah, it was a totally a short story. It was called "We Can Remember It for You Wholesale" originally, and first published in 1966.
That.
So, in any case, and that initially followed the memory of a trip to Mars, leading to a complex narrative of implanted and erased memories. So I thought, oh, and Dan O'Bannon, he was one of the writers. He actually has been part of many different things, to be fair and honest. Dan O'Bannon, I'm looking his ass up. Okay, he was the writer for Alien. He was the writer for Dark
Huh.
Star. He was the writer for Aliens. He was the writer for The Return of the Living Dead. So he's been kind of a very much behind many of the Alien movies. He wrote the screenplay for Screamers. Let's see. He wrote the screenplay for the movie Invaders from Mars from 1986. Life Force. He was the writer behind the original Blue Thunder movie. He wrote an original story for the heavy metal anthology. He wrote the screenplay for Dead and Buried. He was a writer behind the movie Phobia from 1988. So, but I know Dark Star. I've got Dark Star. But in any case, let's go to favorite scenes and or favorite characters. I liked a lot of the uh ending of this movie as well. Well, the production when it came to their faces looking like they were going to spoot out.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
It, you, when something looks like it's going to spudal, but it doesn't spudal. After all, I call that a pseudo spudal.
all right, let's go into favorite scenes and or favorite characters. Let's start with you, Boris.
Oh, favorite scene. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, I liked the fight between Melina and Lori. Uh, that was good.
Okay.
Of course, I liked all the Spudal moments, which there were quite many in this movie. I cannot recall which exact one it was where I really yelled Spudal very loudly. I think it wasn't the final fight, it was something else, but I'm not sure what exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, all the fights and all the Spudals were really good. Richter's death was also very good. Although the final fight was indeed good, can't deny that.
Yeah,
But
I liked when he played with the hologram gram back and forth with Melina.
oh yes,
um, heading over to, is that pretty much it then for you, Boris?
I think so.
Okay, heading over to you, Tammy. Favorite scene and or favorite character?
Um, my favorite character is Melina.
Oh yeah, I didn't end up saying my favorite character, but
I think your favorite character was Lori.
I'm not sure. Uh, it, to some extent, maybe. I mean, she reminds me of stuff that makes me laugh these days. If I have to say seriously, I think it would probably be Melina if the actress was more to my tastes. But I did also like Quaid because of how he disowned his original self and decided to stay the new person, even though it maybe in a way wasn't real, but he felt it made him a better person, so he decided to fight to stay what he was at the moment. I found that pretty cool.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked her because she was tough. You know, she was still she was still a woman, but she was tough and she was stood by him. And you know, like Dave said earlier, they made a good pair. You know,
Oh yes,
so
that's true.
um, favorite scene. I like the when he comes out of that woman get up.
Oh,
I like that one.
uh,
So it's
wait, I'm sorry. Who comes out of a woman?
you
Ah,
know when he's dressed like that woman, and
yeah, I see.
I like that scene. And um, of course, I like the very ending. You know, when their eyes are bugging out and everything like that. They're waiting for the air. You know, it's a good effect. So
Definitely.
okay,
Okay. And me, well, I think my favorite character I think I have to say it's in between Quaid and Melina. Melina, I like because uh, she's kind of like Quaid's equal, and I feel like um, her character is already fleshed out in his dreams, so already it's like she's a character, and Quaid, well, I feel like Quaid it was one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's most human characters that I think he's ever played. So,
Really?
I
How
mean,
come?
well, because when he first started out, he played in a movie called Hercules in New York, and there they were definitely displaying much of it because he started out as a male model
Huh.
in pumping iron magazines and whatnot. So they were using him for his muscles at first to begin with. So a lot of times he looked like he was more muscle and than brains than anything else. At least at first. And then, of course, Terminator kind of made him a robot. So to me, that was
Okay, that's
that.
another thing.
I mean, if you're used to him being a robot before this, you know, and then of course the Running Man, which kind of even more humanizes him a little bit, just
Well,
is what is.
he was also human in the end of days.
True, but he was also older in that one. Um,
Ah.
I feel like that one was I mean, it was a good one with him in it, but you still hear the Terminator in him when he's in that movie, you know. I mean, I remember when they shot him down to earth in Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines, and he was butt ass naked, you know. So, but
Yes.
I mean, when they spawned his ass to begin with in 3, although I wouldn't mind rewatching some of those, but
Was he in
in any
Face Off?
case, was he in what?
Face Off?
No,
Oh,
Ray Liotta and Cage. Oh wait, trying to remember.
okay. No, okay. I can't remember the other movie. The movie he was in that it's kind of similar to this. He's um is you know he I can't remember the name of it. But things aren't things aren't as they seem. You know, he's like,
The Sixth Day,
no,
Who?
Eraser,
maybe that was it.
or are you talking about Last Action Hero?
No, I think it was Eraser because it was kind of like this about his memory or something like that, or something was, things weren't as they seemed.
Okay, well,
So,
I also remember him in Conan, the 2 Conan movies. So,
right. I kind of liked him in this one because he wasn't as buffed up, and he was, and it wasn't this movie wasn't like showing him being buffed up and things like that. He seemed more like a
yeah,
real person in this movie. You know,
Yeah.
you know. I think that's part of what I liked about it with him as far as him.
yeah.
So
Do you remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger was used as the Terminator in Guns N' Roses' "You Could Be Mine" video?
Uh,
I think so, maybe.
I remember funny
Well, I know he
video
was
of
Mr.
that.
Freeze in Batman. I know he was Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's true.
yeah. I forgot that
he
was
he was
him.
also in Around the World in 80 Days. He was also in
Who?
Escape Plan.
Yep.
Just looking, because
Oh,
he's been in quite a few, but
while you're
Predator he
just
was more known for.
looking, it has nothing to do with the movie. The kitty is a Tonkinese.
Okay,
It's Siamese and something else, and it's a Tonkinese.
Who?
okay.
I always forget what the other kitty is. But it's Siamese and something else, and it makes a Tonkinese.
Alrighty. Well, in any case, does anyone else have anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
I don't think so.
hopefully you ladies and gentlemen out there have enjoyed our discussion on this particular film. Like, share, and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments whether you saw the film, whether you listened to our discussion, and I guess we'll see you next week. Is it your turn, Tammy? Again, because I thought we did yours, Boris, last week, or was it? Or
Actually, I think it was
Tammy's.
just for last week.
Okay. Yes. So it is your turn next, Boris.
Oh yes, there are two movies I'm kind of balancing between, so I will let you know which one I'm going to choose.
All right, by Wednesday, so that we at least have a chance to find
Yeah,
the
because
movie for ourselves.
next Saturday we're going to be very busy,
Yep.
so
Oh,
we can't plan on watching it on Saturday.
Nope.
fair enough.
So, alrighty. Well, in any case, like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you next week Sunday here on Delusions of Grandeur. Everyone say good night.
Good night, everyone.
Inside movies galore, just makes you just want more. We've had all in the world of media to explore. Horror, anime, or Curious George. Our love of new things was our reward. It is the best night of our week.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.